Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gland Bodybuilding. Motion. And today I thought I'd overgeneralize what is effective and what's not effective, just for the sake of fun. And I thought I'd make a video about if I had to pick 3 exercises for natural bodybuilding, and I could only pick 3 exercises, which exercises would I choose? Now, for those of you who've been here for a while, these choices probably won't be much of a surprise to you. And of course, I don't agree with only doing 3 exercises to get the best amount of gains possible. So I would never think that that is the ideal way to train if you want to become an elite natural bodybuilder, or even get the most results from your body as possible. Because as a natural bodybuilder, you want to be creative in some cases as far as hitting the muscle from different angles and experimenting and finding out where the play of tensions is happening in your body. And for one person, one exercise that might be my favorite will not be as effective for them. So that's why I think everybody will probably have different or at least variations of their favorite exercises. But for me, the 3 that I would choose would be starting with 1, the bench press. I would start with barbell bench. And I know that is almost like sacrilege or blasphemy in some way, because some guys say, the dumbbells hit the chest better and so forth. But I do find that barbell bench hits the overall upper body better, as far as it brings in the delts, the triceps, and the chest. And you can do variations of it, like narrower grips or wider grips, and really get a lot of stress on different areas. Now, you could do this with dumbbells too, I'm sure, but in the barbell press, I find it's most pronounced. So I would choose the flat bench, barbell bench, as one of my favorite movements if I could only pick 3 to be a great natural bodybuilder. Now, number 2 would be the bent over row. Some guys would think chin-ups are great, and they are, pull-ups are great. All types of rows are great, but the bent over barbell row is almost like a deadlift, except you are including a lot of the lats instead of as much of the lower back, because you're not really isotonically firing the lower back. You're isometrically firing the lower back to maintain the proper arch in the lower back while you fire the lats. So I find this is a really effective way to hit a lot of the upper back while still training the lower back and teaching you proper form, how to stretch the hamstrings and keep the lower back in the proper position so that you don't injure any of your discs and so forth. But at the same time, you could move some pretty big weight and get some great back development from the bent over row if you're doing it properly. Now, I have a video called The Secrets of Training Back. I highly encourage you to watch that if you haven't, or watch my video called The Most Misunderstood Bodybuilding Exercise. And that will give you an idea of why so many people are not getting results in their upper back from bent over rows. So yeah, check those out if you're confused about bent over rows, or if you're feeling like, hey, I'm just not getting any results from bent over rows, or hey, I'm doing them properly, I'm basically kissing the floor with the bar in my hand, but I'm not getting good development in my lats and my upper back. These videos will tell you why and show you why exactly you have to pay attention to a couple details in order to get the most out of the bent over row. Now, the third exercise that I would choose, if I could only choose 3 exercises, the third exercise would be the squat. Now, some guys, again, will not respond the same way to the squat as I do. Some guys will do different variations of the squat, because we all know I only do about 90 degrees at the knee, if that, when I squat, because I'm an ass and lower back squatter. I sit back with the butt quite a bit. But I find it's a great overall body developer. Not only am I interacting with the hamstrings and the quadriceps, but I'm also getting a lot of lower back activation in this whole process, as well as having to fire the lower back in harmony with the hamstrings and quads to make sure that I'm not getting injured and I'm stabilizing properly. So I've talked about this a lot. I find the squat is a very anabolic exercise. I find when I put a certain amount of weight on my spine that it affects my other exercises in a positive way because it stimulates my system. And this is what a lot of natural bodybuilders have to depend on. You have to have those movements that stimulate your overall endocrine system so that way you are producing the hormones and causing the adaptation in the body. Because once the body is stressed a certain way, then it will produce the hormones or produce whatever it needs to produce in order to create an adaptation in the body, therefore putting on muscle mass and strength. So the third exercise would be the squat. I would do it the way I'm doing it now, but you guys, you might be asked to the grass squatters or parallel squatters or front squatters, whatever. But I would say the back squat would be my third option. And those would be my 3 exercises that I would choose if I could only choose 3 in order to get the most results out of my training. Because you also notice that each one of these exercises has a lot of auxiliary effect. When I'm doing bent over rows, I'm also training a bit of the rear delts and some of the bicep. When I'm doing bench presses, I'm also getting some tricep activation in there and front delts. So this is the reason why I would choose these 3 lifts. So yeah, thanks for indulging me. I hope this helps out in your training and gives you some sort of perspective. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgalantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the page supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.